Here's our third YouTube video on Chapter 7, and I'm going to step you through the homework problems of 7.5, the applications. Chapter 7 applications. If you look at homework problem number 27, it talks about a dry snow might have a snow to liquid ratio of 18 to 1. 18 to 1, I guess that means 1 inch of liquid makes 18 inches of snow. Using this ratio, how much liquid precipitation, we don't know the liquid, so put the X there, will produce 31.5 inches of snow. Okay, so a simple proportion. Go ahead and cross multiply there. Let's see, so 18x is equal to 31.5. Now divide 31.5 divided by 18. Okay. And then you can jump on a calculator if you like. Let me grab my calculator just for a sec. Okay, here's my calculator. So we're just going to divide 31.5 by 18 and get 1.75 inches. Okay, so 1.75 inches of liquid precipitation results in 31.5 inches of dry snow. In all these application problems, you should finish the problem with a sentence that answers the question that was asked. Okay, problem number 37. The problem reads, biologists tagged 500 fish in a lake on January 1st, and then a month later, on February 1st, they returned and collected a random sample of 400 fish, 8 of which had been previously tagged. On the basis of this experiment, how many fish does the lake have? So we'll put X as the number in lake. Don't know what that is. We do know we had tagged 500, so that gives us this proportion. 500 out of all the fish in the lake were tagged. And then a month later, there was a sample of 8 tagged and 400 collected, right? 400 collected. Okay. So this proportion is set up. Now, I suppose you could turn it upside down if you like. There's nothing wrong with doing that, putting the total amount in the lake on top and the number of tagged fish on the bottom. And then for the sample, the total sample on top. And then the number that were tagged in the sample on the bottom. Both these proportions will work. They work exactly the same way. We're going to be cross multiplying. So 8x is equal to 400 times 500. And again, you can use your calculator there or simply note that 4 times 5 is 20. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 8x is 200,000. And then you can divide out. Again, feel free to use your calculator. 200,000 divided by 8. 200,000 divided by 8. Okay, 25,000 fish are in the lake. So X is 25,000 fish. And again, sort of ending the problem with the sentence is nice on the basis of the sample. There are 25,000 fish Next homework problem is number 47. This was a distance, rate, time problem. On his drive from Mount Pelier, Vermont to Columbia, South Carolina, Victor Samuels averaged 51 miles per hour. If he had been able to average 60 miles per hour, he would have reached his destination 3 hours sooner or 3 hours earlier. What is the driving distance? Okay, so distance is rate times time. In the first case, we don't know the distance. We do know that he averaged 51 miles per hour. So we have that equation. The problem then states if he drove the exact same distance, but he could average 60 miles per hour, his time would be 3 hours earlier. So I'm going to write t minus 3. So again, rate times time. We don't know the time. We don't know the distance, but we do know that these two equations talk about the exact same driving distance, Vermont to South Carolina. And you know, I don't know if you know much geography, but there's the east coast of the United States. Here's Norfolk. Here's Vermont up here. And here's South Carolina down here. And so that's a good long ways, about 1,000 miles. Let's see if this problem makes sense. We're going to set 51t to 60 times t minus 3, and then simplify 51t, 60t minus 180, 180 is equal to 9t. Something's not right here. So let's see what we did. We have 51t, 9t. Okay. So okay, yeah, sure, no problem. We're trying to get distance, and we said distance would be about 1,000 miles, and obviously this isn't 1,000 miles. This isn't distance, this is time. So 180 divided by 9 is 20. So this is the time I took driving. But that doesn't answer the problem. The problem was, how far is the distance? So now we have to go back to the distance equation. And we know the distance is 51 times the time. Or we can even use this one. The distance is 60 times the time, which we said was 20 minus 3. Let's see, 20 minus 3. And both these should give us the same answer. Okay, so pop up the calculator again. In the first case, we have 51 times 20 hours. Okay, so for 1,020 miles, 1,020 miles, and that seems to make sense. Certainly that long a distance between South Carolina and Vermont. And if we just want to double check and do 60 times 17, we should have the exact same distance. So let's see how that falls out. 60 times 17. Sure enough, 1,020 miles. Okay, so we've done all that work, and now we'll go ahead and write the answer to the problem. The distance from Montpelier to Columbia, is approximately 1,020 miles. Okay. The third homework problem from this chapter was number 55. It was one of these work rate problems. The working formula is the amount is rate times time, very similar to the distance is rate times time. And let's see what we know. Jerry and Kuba are laying a hardwood floor. Working alone, Jerry can do the job in 20 hours. That's 1/20th of the job is Jerry's rate. And if the two of them work together, they can complete the job in 12 hours. How long will it take Kuba to lay the floor working alone? Okay, so we don't know Kuba's rate. We'll do 1/x. This is Kuba's rate. At these rates, if they work together, it takes them 12 hours. So we'll put 12 there. We'll put 12 there. And again, notice this is the time is 12. The rate, we don't know the rate. So 1/x. And 1/20. And there's the rate, there's the time. And that gives us the total amount, which is just one job. Okay, so we have a equation here that has some rational expressions. We'll clean these up a little bit. And so we have 12/20 plus 12/x is equal to 1. You can get a common denominator if you like. I suppose we could reduce 12/20, but let's just go ahead and put x and x. And for this one, we'll put 20 and 20. Let me move my 1 out of the way. So multiply this one by 20/20. Okay. So here's our new equation. We have 12x/20x. And we have 240/20x. And that's equal to 1. So common denominator achieved. We can add them up. 12x plus 240/20x is 1. 12x plus 240 is 20x. Subtract off the 12x's, we get 8x is 240, or x is equal to 30. So the 1/30 would be Kuba's rate. Kuba's rate. Make sure you answer the question. The question is, how long would it take Kuba? So it would take Kuba 30 hours to do the job alone. Okay. I hope these 4 are useful. Try to watch this video at least a couple of times between when you get it and Tuesday night for the test. I'll answer questions at the beginning of class. We'll go over some of these problems again. Okay, thank you.